Hi, I am Khushbu Kishnani. I am doing MS in Signal Processing and Communication of Electrical Engineering Department at IIT Kanpur. Welcome back to my channel, The Dream Called IIT. This video contains everything about winter admissions. That is before and after getting admissions in IIT. If you are coming to this channel first time and have not watched my previous video on winter admissions, I would suggest you to go and watch that video first and then see this video. This video is pretty long, that's why I am giving you contents of this video beforehand. I will be discussing about the cutoffs and seats in the winter admission procedure for winter admission, curriculum and placement at IITs for winter admissions, and lastly the comparison between summer and winter admissions. Although this video is long, but I assure you it is worth watching. If you are applying to winter admission, please make sure that you watch the complete video. So let's start. Why is cutoff less? Although I told in the previous video, but still some people are finding it hard to digest that with low GATE score, how can anyone get a good IIT? I know, I can understand. Before coming to IIT, I also never imagined that it is possible, but trust me, it is. Let me explain you how. For that, you first need to understand the basic principle of getting a call. Whether you will get a call or not, it does not depend on your GATE rank or your GATE score, but it depends more on the number of candidates applying for that specialization and their GATE score. So this game is all about the relative performance, and that is the reason why every IIT has different cutoffs for different departments and branches. See, suppose you have got 5000 rank. What will be your toughest competition? The students from 1 to 2000 rank? Almost all seats will be filled by the top rankers. So with 5000 rank, you may not get a call from good IIT in good branch in the summer admissions. But it is also true that these students will either get a desired PSU, of course the top 300 rankers, or will either get desired IIT. So now only those students who have not got what they wanted or who are not satisfied will apply in the winter admissions. So now even with the 5000 GATE rank, your chances of getting a call will increase. So now you may be thinking that if cutoff is so low, then why doesn't everyone apply in the winter only? For this, there are 3 reasons. First is, of course, very less people know about it. So how can you apply if you even don't know? Second reason is, winter admission is as good as a backup option. You cannot rely on it completely. Primary way of admission will always be the summer admission. Only if you have not got a desired seat in the summer, then you should apply in the winters. The third reason is seats are very less. To explain you this, let me take example of my specialization, that is Signal Processing and Communication, SPCOM. So if you see, in summer there are around 60 to 65 seats, MTech and MS combined. For winters, there are only 3 to 4 seats for MS and 0 seats for MTech. So you see, directly 20 times less seats. And this is about my branch. In many branches there are 0 seats, means they don't conduct the winter admission. So you see, winter admissions are too risky and uncertain. So if seats are so less, then why should I even apply? See, as I said you earlier, you require only one seat. So you should focus on giving your best instead of worrying about the seats. Just believe in yourself. Prepare so well that even if there is only one seat, you should get that seat. And one more thing. Success is nothing but marriage of preparation and opportunity. If you just keep preparing without using the correct opportunities, you will never be successful in life. Preparation is what you keep doing for around 1 to 2 years in that isolated room. When we see opportunity, the main opportunity is the GATE exam. But problem is that it comes only once a year. So you have to look for the other opportunities. Every application form of every IIT is your new opportunity. So every small opportunity you get is way more precious than you think. And you just can't afford to lose any of that if you want to have a happy ending for your preparation journey. So I think now you would have got the idea of cutoffs and seats and all that. For you I explained it again. But still, if you don't want to believe that you can get IIT with low GATE score, then ये क्या बच गया? चलो, now if you want to apply in the winter admissions, so let's see the procedure of winter admission. First we will see the application form. So every IIT individually publishes the notification for winter or spring admission in October on their websites. I will just show you how to find it by a small example of IIT Kanpur. It is very simple thing, but still, keeping everyone in mind, I will tell you briefly. So now let's go to the IIT Kanpur website. See, one more thing, that you may find notification on different locations according to the site. Somewhere you may find in the admissions section. Here like this, you may find in the announcement sections. So you can find that easily, not a big thing. So let's go to this notification. So first here you have an overview about in which departments for which programs the seats are open. Like for PhD in engineering, there are many departments: aerospace engineering, civil engineering, biological engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, and etc. For MTech, there is only material science and engineering. For MS by research, aerospace engineering, computer science, electrical, and mechanical. After that, let's see what it contains. See this PG manual. This PG manual is the Bible of all PG students at IIT Kanpur. You may not use it much now, but after coming to IIT Kanpur, you will refer this whenever in doubt. I'll give you an overview what it contains. Basically, it contains everything about the post-graduation programs at IIT Kanpur. For you, admissions section will be most important. Other sections you can see after joining IITK, but in case if you want to know anything about course structure or curriculum, you can refer it accordingly. So now please read all these informations carefully. So the application procedure says that the form is only available till 2nd of November. PhD applicants must arrange 2 letters of reference as well. See, it is very important. Don't ignore this. That's why I am telling you to read every point carefully. You might ignore this in the application procedure, then you will suffer. So please read everything carefully. Then for application, you can go to the application link. Here many important things are there. See, first of all, information brochure. This document basically covers all the departments in short, all the faculty members and the programs that are offered for the admission, and also the courses. So if you want to know about the department in brief, you can refer this document. Other than that, you can also refer the individual websites of department for detailed version. If suppose you have any query in filling the form or you make some mistake in filling the form, you can ask your doubts on this number. FAQ. See, this is the most underrated section of the form. We keep asking doubts to our friends and other people, and we never look to this section. Generally, this section has all the questions covered in it. So I would suggest you, if you have any doubt, first please refer this section, then go to someone else. That's it, I think. From here you can apply online. So for that, first you will need to register on Pingala website, and then you have to fill the form and submit all the important documents that are required. So I hope you have got a brief overview of how to find an application form and how to use all the information given there. In the previous video of winter admission, I shared a table with you. It is a list of all IITs whose forms were out till 19th of October. As you can see, IIT Madras, IIT Delhi and IIT Kanpur were the 3 who came out with master's seats. So today is 27th of October, and the other IITs that has come out with their forms are IIT Patna, IIT Mandi, IIT Guwahati and IIT Bhubaneswar. IIT Patna and IIT Mandi has seats for masters also. So please make sure that you apply in them. Similarly, you can check for the other IITs on their websites. Some IITs also ask for the statement of purpose SOP in their application form. Before going in detail, let me tell you a truth. For IIT admissions, SOP doesn't matter as much as they matter in the admissions in the universities outside India. For them, it is very critical. But for us, it doesn't matter that much. So don't worry about it so much that how will I write SOP and all that. Some people on YouTube are making it a business and misguiding students. No need to give money to someone for writing your SOP. It is not that hard as it sounds. What I will suggest you is that find a friend who has either given GRE or TOEFL and has applied in the admissions in the abroad universities. I also did that. Actually, I was very lucky in this because my best friend Shefali went to America for higher studies. So she knew everything about how to write SOP. So she helped me to write my SOP. So for me it went pretty smoothly. But if you don't have any friend of similar background, don't worry. I am here for you. I will tell you how to do it. See, writing a SOP just seems difficult in your first 3 to 4 SOPs because you are clueless what to write and how to write. So let's see how to write it. Statement of purpose. As the name suggests, it is an essay stating the purpose of applying to a particular course in a particular university. This essay consists of a gist of who you are, who you want to become, and how ready you are to pursue a certain course in an institution. See, honestly speaking, SOP is a combination of truths and lies. Truths are the things that you did. Lies are the reasons why you did them. So basically you have to finalize one SOP and then this part will remain same in all SOPs, but this part will keep changing. What do I mean by this is you have to align all your work done and the past experience with the specialization that you are applying to. Maybe you had never thought that you would ever apply in this field, but still just write in the SOP that you did all the things since childhood to get into this field. It may sound too much, but yes, you have to do that. So for various specializations, you just have to keep changing this part. This part will remain same. So now let's see the main points to include in your SOP. The first paragraph has a brief overview about yourself and how your interest developed in this field. So basically you have to relate what you have done to what you are applying to. Here you can put 1 or 2 incidents of either your school life or college life that made you more interested in the field that you are applying to. See, for example, when I applied to Sitara Department of IIT Bombay, that is Center for Technology Alternatives for Rural Areas. So basically, it was related to using technology for the development of rural areas. So, how I used my small industrial visit of high school to Akshay Patra kitchen in telling this that I am interested in this field, I will read out the first paragraph for you. My determination to shape my career in technology blossomed during my high school years. When taken for the industrial visit to Akshay Patra kitchen, I witnessed the perfect use of technology to prepare tons of food automatically by machines to feed the millions of underprivileged children daily. Hence, engineering with electronics and communication as my major was the first choice of my undergraduate studies. I started exploring the subjects and my interest soon turned into my passion. I have now decided to dedicate my life to research and development and find innovative solutions that can contribute significantly in the development of society. So, in this way, you have to mold the events of your life according to the specialization you are applying to. Even if you have never thought that you will apply in that field, just write it, okay? The other point is academic experience, project, and achievements. So now you should tell about the small project. Even if you have done small term projects in the semester, you have to mention them and you have to relate them with that field. If you have academic achievements, please mention. It will be the plus point of your. The next thing that you can include is industrial project or professional experience. All the internships you have done, you can include in this section. In that also, whatever project you have did, you have to relate it to the field. If I give my example, I did my final year project at ISRO. Basically, it was analysis and simulation of store and forward type payload on LEO satellite platform. So this project is nowhere related to the rural areas, but how I wrote it like this, that it aims at providing cheaper solution for communication in remote areas of country, because lack of communication is also a major problem which makes villages isolated from urban areas. So you see, you have to keep twisting the reasons. I hope now you have got what I am telling, right? Next comes why this specialization and course. Include one or two professors' name whose area of interest matches with yours. As I already told you, that you can go to the department websites of IIT and see which professor's interest matches with yours. Mention their names and also the areas of interest that you would like to work on. In this, you may have a confusion that if I am applying to complete electrical department which has 6 specializations in them and I don't know in which I will get a call, then about which specialization should I include all these minute details? Yes, it is right. There are two situations. One is you completely don't know that in which department you will get a call. In that case, you can write about your first preference. In case if you have somehow idea that due to your low score you are not going to get that branch, so you should include the specialization that you think you will get a call. But it doesn't matter much, so don't worry about it much. Overall SOP you can write in terms of electrical engineering, or means your department, of course. Next come is any additional non-academic experience that you can relate with that specialization. For example, I am a NCC cadet, so in this SOP how I wrote was, being a NCC cadet, I have interacted with cadets coming from all backgrounds during NCC camps. We used to discuss the problems that they faced. Lack of basic facilities hold them back in the society. There were many problems that attracted my attention for rural development. I used to think that proper channelization of water should be there for rural areas, as urban areas are provided with a lot of water that they don't need. Also, all villages should be equipped with the rooftop rainwater harvesting. If given the opportunity, using all my technical knowledge and cultural experience, I am looking forward to learn more and strive to make the best of it. See, again the same thing, right? So you have to also do this. In the last, you have to give conclusion that my in-depth research regarding the program of this IIT, it made me certain that this place is ideal for me, and I assure to give my best and keep up the legacy of IIT Kanpur or whatever in which you are applying. So I hope you got a basic idea. Even if you write 3 to 4 lines about all these points, you will have a good SOP ready. One more thing is that sometimes you may be asked questions related to the things that you have written in your SOP. So please make sure that you know about everything that you have written in the SOP. And that's the reason why I am telling you to write your SOP on your own. Only include those details about which you can answer the questions. So now comes selection procedure. Every IIT has a different process for selection. It may also vary from year to year. So you just have to take reference from last year. Don't completely rely on it. It goes like this. First, you will be shortlisted according to the GATE score. After that, basically, there are 2 types of procedures. First is written test plus interview, and second is only interview. I will explain you by giving 2 examples that happened in the year that I applied. For written test plus interview, I will give you example of IIT Hyderabad. As there was written test also, so around 200 students got a call for electrical engineering department on the basis of their GATE score. While filling the form, students were given preferences: ML, communication, and VLSI. They had to give their preferences among these three specialization. For all three of them, there were separate written tests. So students were asked to give tests on their first preference. Also, they had an option to give other two tests. So in short, you can give all three tests. Timing was set in such a way. The written tests were mostly on the GATE syllabus. Like for ML, they asked more about maths, statistics, probability. For communication, the communication subject of GATE syllabus, and for VLSI, kind of EDC type questions were asked. For ML, some questions of maths were above GATE level also, but it's okay, you don't need to solve every question, right? So on the same day, they shortlisted candidates for interview, and on the same day interviews were there. Only 8 to 10 students were selected for interviews in each specialization. Interviews were also based on the GATE subjects related to that specialization. Sometimes they also give you a practical scenario and ask to design a circuit for some application, like in VLSI they ask this. For ML, they will basically ask about math, statistics and probability. In these interviews, generally they make you write various equations on the board. So I hope you got an idea. For example of only interview, I will give you example of IIT Kanpur. So in the application form, they will ask you your preferences. For example, for EE department, there are 6 preferences. SPCOM, that is Signal Processing and Communication. MVLSI, that is Microelectronics and VLSI. RF and Microwave. Control and Automation. Photonics and Power Engineering. So on the basis of your preference, you will get a call from the first specialization for which you satisfy the GATE score requirement. So please fill this properly. The preference you fill here is very important. Even if you know that you will not get a call from top branch of that department, still keep it in your first preference only. You never know what may happen. So around 30 students were called for the interview in my specialization, that is SPCOM. The interview questions were basically based on signal and system and communication. All the things that people don't like to study in communication, that is random, variable and process, digital communication, sampling, information theory. So basically, you have to study signal systems and communication well if you want to clear this interview. BTech project was not much asked. Even if they ask, they will ask you to explain in 1 or 2 lines. So summing up this section, the procedures will vary in all IITs. I just gave you these two examples to get an idea of both the ways. Now comes written test or interview syllabus. Although I have written word syllabus here, but as such there is no such defined syllabus. I'm just telling you according to my experience that what type of questions can be asked. As I already told you in the previous section, mostly the questions are based on the GATE subjects related to that specialization. They want to check your basics. Whenever written test is specifically conducted for one specialization, it will be based on that specialization. But whenever it is conducted for complete department together, then it will have questions of maths and aptitude or anything that everyone can solve. For interviews, they will test your basics and practical understanding of that subject. The professors are very supportive and helpful. They will help you wherever you will get stuck. So you just have to keep your cool and keep answering whatever you know. Stay confident and highlight your strengths. Don't get nervous even if you are not able to answer 1 to 2 questions. Don't get nervous. It's okay. Nobody answers every question. They just checks your aptitude, okay? And they get an idea about you whether you answer the question or you don't. So don't give up till the last question. Don't think that oh shit, I spoiled it, now it's gone. Don't think that. Just keep answering whatever you know, and that's how you will crack it. The time duration of interview may vary very randomly. It can also end in just 5 minutes, or it can also go up to 30 to 40 minutes depending on the panel and your turn. See, generally if you have interview in the starting, your interview will be long enough. If you have interview in the ending, your interview will be very short. But generally in these interviews are not that long. So some other tips that I would like to give you is get an overview of the research going on by various professors in that department or specialization. For this, go to the department website of IITs and just see the profiles of various professors and their ongoing project and research work. Just keep name of 1 or 2 professor and their work from every specialization that you have applied to. Why I am telling is that in an interview of IISc Bangalore, one student was asked that whether you have checked our website. Do you know anything about the work going on here? See, rarely only such type of questions are asked. But still, it's good if you are prepared, right? Other thing is that don't wait for the interview call to start your preparation. Keep studying the GATE subjects related to at least top 3 specializations that you have applied to. The call can come anytime and in any specialization. I did this mistake. I thought, at least let me first get a call from somewhere. I will then prepare for the interview according to that specialization. But that year, due to some unavoidable circumstances, IIT Kanpur called students just before one day. It was like today evening I got a call that I have an interview day after tomorrow morning. Generally, these things don't happen, but it can. I was able to manage it quite well as I was already preparing for next year's GATE exam. But please, you don't do this mistake. Third point is, don't believe in everything you see on YouTube. I did this mistake also. I saw one video in which they said at IIT Kanpur there are two rooms, in which one they ask only about BTech project and in other they ask about the technical subjects. So I believed it. I only studied my BTech project in detail in the one day that I got between the call and the interview. And when I went there, I got to know that it's nothing like that. There was only one room, of course, and at IIT Kanpur, they don't ask about BTech project much. Even if they do so, they ask you to tell in brief what you did. Interviews are very random. They depend on the panel of professors that is taking your interview. Generally, professors ask questions about the areas in which they specialize, and you cannot know and predict that who is going to take your interview. So instead of finding shortcuts, you just need to prepare the subjects well and you will sail through it. So this was all about before coming to IIT. Now, what after getting admission in IIT? Many students have a doubt that being admitted in the second semester, will they not face any problem in curriculum or placement? So let's see how does it work here. First we'll see about curriculum. To understand this, first you need to understand that unlike in the other colleges of India, the curriculum of IIT is quite flexible. Generally, most of the college, it's like Sem 1, X, Y, Z subjects, Sem 2, A, B, C with some electives, Sem 3, P, Q, R, S, T with some electives. So everything is fixed here. In first sem you have to take these subjects, in second sem this, and third sem this. Similarly for all semesters. But at IIT, it's not like that. IIT follows even and odd semester system. That is, for odd semester, they have a set of courses. For even semester, there is another set of courses. So suppose in 1, 3, 5 semesters, these courses will be offered. Out of these, you have to choose 3 to 4 courses in each sem. Similarly, for second, fourth, sixth semester, these courses will be offered. Out of them, you have to choose again 3 to 4 courses. So, the courses that you missed to do in the first semester, as you joined in the second semester, you can take them in the third semester. That will be your second semester. I know it's a bit confusing. See, let me try to explain in another way. Suppose summer student, winter student. Suppose in SEM 1, a student takes 4 courses. In SEM 2, let's assume he takes these courses. You will join directly in second semester. Before that, yes, why I have written like A1 B1 and A2 B2? Because there are some courses whose advanced version are offered in the even semesters and whose basic versions are offered in the odd semesters. So if you directly join in the second semester, one thing that you can do is take similar courses and cover the prerequisite for these courses by putting extra effort. Or what else you can do is, there not all courses require prerequisite, so like you can take the courses that does not have any basic course or prior knowledge required. Both you can do. And then in SEM 3, generally they will do thesis. You can now here you can take the courses that you missed in the first semester, these courses. So in SEM 4 they will do thesis, and you can either do thesis, or if you want to do these courses that you couldn't take in the second semester as it required the basic course, you can also take these courses here with thesis. So it may sound little bit complicated now, but it is manageable. Every year students manage it quite well. That being said, summer admissions are much easier in handling because everything is straightforward and well defined for them. Time duration for MS course may vary according to the IITs and your thesis supervisor. Suppose in IIT Kanpur, although it is written 2-year MS course in the application form, it may go up to 3 years. Everything will depend on your thesis supervisor. But after coming to IIT, doing good research work should be your priority. That's what I feel. Then leaving soon. Even if you just want to have a job, having a good thesis always helps. Don't worry about all that now. You will figure out all that when you join the institution. I just told you to get an idea about the curriculum. It is manageable and you will do it well. So now comes the most important thing about which everyone is worried about: placements. Most of you think that as MS is research oriented course, it may lag behind MTech when it comes to placement. But let me tell you that it is just your misconception. The placements for both MS and MTech are exactly same. They both sit for the same companies with the same packages. And same goes for the winter admission. So summer MTech, summer MS, winter MTech, winter MS. All of them have same placements. So if you are not considering MS, just thinking that they may have low placements, then change your mind and apply soon. Now to conclude this video, let's see the complete comparison of summer and winter admissions. So first we see gate cutoff. As I said, in summer gate cutoff is higher and in winter gate cutoff is low. Seats are quite sufficient in summer but very less in winter. Handling, that is what after coming to IIT. Handling the curriculum is bit easier in summer, but still it is manageable in winter also. Placements are same for both. So I hope now you have got an idea about summer and winter admissions. So all this was a general overview valid for all departments and branches. The specific examples that I used were for electrical engineering department, as I am in that. See, practically it is impossible for me or anyone else to cover all departments of all IITs. But as you are watching this video till now, you must be serious about winter admissions. So here is a secret tip for you. If you want to know what type of questions are asked in the interview and written test, the best people you can go to ask this question are the students who had been selected in the same specialization in that IIT in last year. Why I am telling you last year is because they will have the most recent information. But you might be wondering how to find them or contact them. I have found a way for you to do this. Most of you would be familiar with the LinkedIn platform. For those who don't know, it is just a platform mainly used for professional networking, including employees posting the jobs and job seekers posting their CVs. Being a GATE aspirant for now, you should not worry about it much. You can make profile and connections after joining IIT. No need to worry and waste your time in all this right now. But what I am telling you is how to use this platform for connecting with the students of IIT. See, let's assume that suppose if you want to know about a particular specialization of IIT Kanpur. So what you have to do is make a new profile with your basic details, and in the education section add that you are doing masters from IIT Kanpur in that specialization about which you want to know. So now what LinkedIn will do is they will suggest you all the students of IIT Kanpur who are present on LinkedIn of similar background. So you can connect with them and message them and ask them all your queries that are specific to your department that I would have missed in this video. They will surely help you. But while doing so, please remember one thing. Don't just study about the questions they tell. Focus more on the topics instead of question. And study the whole subject well to improve your chances in the interview. Interviews are too random, so please be prepared for worst. They only depend on the panel of professors that are taking interviews. That's all. I tried to include everything that I can think of about winter admissions. I hope it helped you. I want to tell you one more thing, that my exams are coming, so I would be busy for next few weeks. Hence, I will not be able to upload new video till at least 3 weeks. So till then, if you have any doubts or queries, I am giving you the link of my LinkedIn profile and Instagram account in the description box below. If you like the video, please like and share the video with all the students who may require this. Subscribe the channel and click the bell icon to stay updated. See ya. Keep hustling.